What's this domino effect when it comes? It's not enough that you just speak with someone in English to improve your skills. Converse with each other thinking that they're going to speak fluently, but they keep still making the same mistakes despite listening to so many videos, despite reading a lot of having books. That output. You're just listening and reading. Where is the output with the quality? Even after doing so many things, you know that you have been working for a long time. You keep falling and keep stumbling and keep repeating. What's this domino effect when it comes to English language learning? It has got nothing to do with the Domino's pizzas that you eat. Before going into the topic, welcome to another video on my channel. This is Rini Rose Matthew. If you're new to the channel, please read the channel description, and I'm a language trainer and also an author. We see a lot of people having conversation in the English language because speaking is one of the best practices towards developing fluency, right? And we can also see a lot of people conversing with each other, having casual conversations, sessions, and then uploading on the YouTube, which is great. But there are a few guidelines that you have to keep in mind because it could become futile. It could prove to be ineffective if you are not going to pay attention to these guidelines. By the way, watch the other video so that you get a clearer understanding of many points that's been mentioned through this video. If you're just going to watch one video and then get back to me, then I may have to ask you to watch those particular videos as well. What is this domino effect? Well, the domino effect refers to the impact created when an event or an action leads to a series of events or similar actions creating an impact in the form of a chain reaction. Now that's about the encapsulation of the whole effect. But if it leads to a series of something, an event or similar actions, you have the impact felt, right? And when it comes to having a conversation, make sure that you have some productive conversation, in the sense it's not enough that you just speak with someone in English to improve your skills. Of course, it helps you with the flow. And always I have told you to work on certain activities to help you with the flow. Even if you don't know if you're making a mistake, it's okay. Just keep doing the activities in your leisure time so that you get the flow of the language. But otherwise, when you're engaging in a series of conversation, make sure that you spend some quality time and that you upgrade your skills. Let me come to the direct points. It's okay if you have a conversation with a common person, with a member of a particular app, or even a friend who is willing to have a conversation with you in English without judgment. Nobody wants to get judged, right? That's fine. But remember that you always engage in this conversation so that you can develop your flow and fluency. After a series of conversation, definitely you will get the flow, you will get used to the language. What is the next step? To upgrade. In order to upgrade, even if you don't speak to a tutor or if you don't get the guidelines, ensure that you're corrected, you're rectified. Now, there are certain ways in which you need to be rectified. You cannot be judged. The fear cannot be created in you when a friend or when a common man corrects you. It's okay, it's understandable that you're quite comfortable when you speak to your friend or a commoner. But the way guidelines are given is really important. Make sure that you're corrected. Make sure that there is some sort of rectification happening, that you work on these problems so that you don't repeat the mistakes. Usually people converse with each other thinking that they're going to speak fluently, but they keep repeating the same mistakes. Then what's the use of having these series of conversations? It's good. It's for practice. Yes, I know it's for practice that you're doing it. But you want to upgrade to the next level, and one of the best ways to do it is through speaking. Now, when you're speaking, make it productive. It shouldn't be like two people having conversation with each other and then leading nowhere. You should be able to reach somewhere because you have been investing your time and energy. Practice is important. Also remember that you shouldn't be making the same mistakes over and over again. It's okay to make mistakes. We all make mistakes when it comes to a foreign language, and there's nothing known as perfect language. Even natives make mistakes. But we're always working towards the betterment of our language skills. So make sure that you don't repeat the same pattern of mistakes, and for that you need to follow certain directions and guidelines. The second point is vocabulary and tenses. Many people have a tendency to make mistakes when it comes to past perfect. Forget about past perfect, even past tense and present tense. They could get mixed up. There are people who really speak very well, but they get mixed up when it comes to the simple present and simple past. Sometimes all the three tenses, past, present and future, yes, in the simple form, not even in the continuous or the perfect forms. For that, you need to follow certain methods. And that's why you're training yourself to equip yourself with the next level of that skill. Self-learning is a good method, but ensure that you follow the right guidelines. Make sure that you upgrade your vocabulary. You use better words, better phrases. You shouldn't be in that loop where you make the same mistakes, where you keep repeating the same problems with the tenses, with the sentence structure. And many of you would be thinking now that I'm still making the same mistakes despite listening to so many videos, despite reading a lot of books. It happens because you are not having that output. You're just listening and reading. Where is the output with the quality, with the productivity? You're investing your time and energy. Even when you speak to yourself, you're not getting corrected. There will be people who correct you just once, twice, thrice, but after that, where do you progress? For you to progress, you have to invest your time by focusing. When you're a bit careful, not conscious, okay, you shouldn't be conscious of your mistakes where you develop the fear. Just be careful, just focus so that you know, okay, I'm trying to speak about a context in the present. So I have to use the present tense, not the past tense. Context, not the entire sentence, because you can have 2-3 sentences used in a same complicated, complex sentence. That's another level of learning. That's another level of using the sentences. That's okay. So coming to the context, just focus and speak, and you will not be repeating the same mistakes. The third point that you have to remember is learning can happen anywhere, anytime. You don't have to consciously sit and study and make yourself learn. It happens subconsciously sometimes. It happens just like that when you get used to certain things. English is a foreign language. You cannot deny that. You're not a native speaker. Even for native speakers, certain aspects of the language are new. They also cannot deny that. Even when we learn our language from the technical point of view, we discover a lot of things. Similarly, when you explore the language, you'll be learning new things. The technical side, the speaking side, the skill aspects. Now, when you learn for some time consciously, you start enjoying the process. You begin doing it gradually and more naturally, and that's when it just happens. It can happen anywhere and anytime. It can happen on YouTube. It's not that you listen to a lot of videos on YouTube and nothing happens. Even if you engage in speaking conversations, even if you enroll for courses or take subscriptions on different apps, you can end up doing nothing, not progressing. And that's because only when you help yourself can a trainer or a tutor help you with that guideline. You will be getting a lot of guidelines for free from the YouTube also. The problem is you're not implementing it. You're not spending the time. You're not taking the effort to work on that. Oh, this is the guideline. This is what I have to do. Some learners will not be able to identify their problems. In such cases, definitely you need the help of a trainer, a tutor, or a particular person who is able to guide you. And there's nothing wrong with asking for help. It's not like how people say you shouldn't ask for help. You can do it all by yourself. If you're not sure about where you're going, definitely you need to take help. The next point is you could be taking a lot of suggestions and advice from different people, but still nothing happens, nothing works. If that's the case, what are you going to do? Feel bad when you're criticized? Even after doing so many things, you know that you have been working for a long time, and people just criticize, saying that no, that is not right. See, when you speak in a foreign language, a person who doesn't even know the basics of that particular language will criticize you. That's their problem, not yours. You're at least taking the effort. You have the desire to develop, to take the first step towards development. It's okay. Don't even bother about that. It's all about going to the next level. It's all about progressing. If there's no progress, then your methods are wrong. The next point is language. Every language is a tool that's used for communication and also for expressing yourself. I have also listened to a lot of English professors making mistakes in their sentence construction. It happens. It's not because they are not familiar with the language, that they don't know the language. Despite being English professor, despite being with the language for a period of maybe 15 or 20 years, they make mistakes just like that because of the pattern, because of certain factors, not because they don't have the knowledge, not because they don't know anything. It can happen to anyone. So I'm using the example of the English professor because you may think, oh my God, they will not make any mistake. It's conversation, it's communication, it's all about how you use this tool. So when you chop vegetables, you're using this tool, knife, or any other tool for that matter. You can go wrong in certain places. You can bruise your fingers. You can also create a deep cut. Experts also make mistakes. So there's nothing to be worried about. You don't have to be so careful and so conscious and obsessed saying that you're making a mistake there. Oh, that's wrong there, that's right here. No, it's more about where you're able to communicate. If a person is able to understand you, if at least 85 to 90% of your sentences are right, and if it makes sense, fine, that's good. That's all. Okay, so when it comes to speaking conversations, I spoke about the repetition of errors. Errors refer to the pattern of errors, like habitual errors that you have been making with pronunciation, not accent, with pronunciation. Or it could be the tense where it doesn't make any sense. Okay, so when you're going to mix up with the tenses, the sentence itself will not become meaningful. It's not going to convey anything. It could just lead to confusion and miscommunication. That's what I'm trying to say. Coming back to the domino effect, when you see that one method is working, or when you see that one method is right when it comes to speaking also, or even reading for that matter, you shouldn't be doing it just for the sake of doing it, because then it becomes the domino effect. And remember, the domino effect is used to refer to situations that are not pleasant, that are not favorable, that you're not very happy about expressing. So it becomes a domino effect if you don't really know what you're doing. You should have at least read about it. You should have at least been following the right guidelines. Otherwise, it leads to this domino effect where you keep falling and keep stumbling and keep repeating the same errors. So when you engage in a conversation, make sure that you follow all the guidelines given through this video. I hope this helps. And I hope that you create an effect that's positive, not in the toxic sense, but that fills you with hope, that upgrades you to the next level, no matter what happens in life, no matter what feedback you get, what suggestions you get. Are you improving? Are you not faltering? Have you been keeping at it where you don't get discouraged because of the external factors? That's it. You are working and you are progressing. Just believe in yourself. Happy learning.